How about those Devils? How about those Devils?
How about those Devils? Welcome back, Devils fans. It is your host, Ace, here on Running with the Devils, where we are talking New Jersey Devils hockey all year long. Please hit that subscribe button, smash the like, share with a friend. Thank you very much. And the New Jersey Devils looking to bounce back after a painful overtime loss to the New York Rangers at Madison Square Garden the other night. The Devils return home to the Rock to take on the Tampa Bay Lightning, a team that has had our number thus far on the season, looking for some revenge and looking to get back in the win column. And your New Jersey Devils survive to win a thrilling 3-2 overtime game. I must ask, I must know, I gotta ask.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Are you not entertained? You know your boy Ace is certainly entertained. The New Jersey Devils win a thrilling one, a exciting back-and-forth game, way more exciting than I had hoped it to be. I would have loved a one-sided Devils victory. That's not what we got. It was a little bit of back and forth. Devils persevere, get the win. We get to the game, and you'd love to see the Devils score first. Midway through the first period, Devils win an offensive zone faceoff, get a shot on goal, maintain possession. They're working it around. They get the puck to Dougie at the point. He rips a wrister towards net, and Ondrej Palat with a beautiful deflection in front at 8-10, giving the Devils the 1-0 lead. Palat's 10th from Dougie Hamilton and Jesper Bratt. And Ondrej Palat becomes the eighth New Jersey Devils player to reach 10 goals on the season. The only NHL team that can boast having 8 different 10-goal scorers. And for those that complain about the bottom 6 and all this stuff and the depth scoring and only Jack scores and I mean, listen, I understand we have been heavily reliant on the top 6 as of late, and I hope the bottom 6 starts to produce some more as well. But with all that being said, to have 8 different 10-goal scorers on your club is the ultimate sign of balanced scoring throughout your lineup. I know we haven't seen the bottom 6 score as frequently as we would have liked in recent weeks. I do believe in this roster, I do believe in the group, and I do believe the balanced attack eventually will come. Eventually will come. They've gone cold as of late. I'm looking for them to bounce back in the rest of the season heading into the playoffs. But 8 different 10-goal scores. I was very high, feeling euphoric after the Devils scored the first goal and took the lead, and it didn't take long for the smile to be removed from my face because the Lightning win an O-zone face-off. The puck comes to Hedman. He steps up, and he just fires a wrister on net that catches a small piece of a Devils player on the way, changing direction just enough to kind of handcuff Markstrom and fool him. Hedman at 9:57. A mere 1 minute and 47 seconds after the Palat goal, Hedman's 6th of the season ties the game at 1, and I was pretty pissed. The first period ends tied 1-1, and I was kind of pissed. I felt like we outplayed them. Devils out shooting the Lightning 14-9 in the first period. I thought we had to go to the locker room with a lead after the first period. It wasn't in the cards. Unfortunately, Hedman got that goal. Another kind of unlucky deflection, if you will. And we go to the second, tied up at 1. Late in the second, the Lightning attempt a cross-ice pass, and Jack Hughes steals it in the neutral zone, comes up the wing, enters the O-zone, and cuts towards the middle of the ice. And once he gets to the top of the circle, he just lets go a laser wrister. Point attempts to block it, gets a piece of it with his stick, and that's another little bit of a direction change, just enough to throw Vasilevsky off, giving Jack's 17th of the season at 15-16. The Devils lead 2-1. Beautiful defensive play by Jack. Can't say it enough. In the neutral zone, he sees that pass coming. He just gets that steal, comes flying up the wing, cuts to the middle, and just rips a beautiful shot. And Point just tries to block it, gets a little piece. Enough to get by Vasilevsky. Jack's 17th of the season unassisted. Devils up 2-1. That is how the second period would end. Second period a little bit tighter for both clubs. Tighter than the first period. Devils 6 shots on goal in the second. Lightning with 7. And after 2, I was like, oh boy. Vasilevsky was playing on his head, as was Markstrom. A ton of great saves by both of them. And I thought at that juncture we may have to hold on to a 2-1 win. I was like, Vasilevsky may not give us another one. We need to lock down this third and hopefully squeak out a 2-1 win or a 3-1 win, with the empty net, obviously, at the end would have been nice. Head to the third. Devils with the lead 2-1. The first half of the period or so, maybe even a little bit longer, all Tampa Bay Lightning. Devils with no shots forever in survival mode. Looked completely terrible in the third. I don't know what happened. It just looked like the wind was completely out of their sails and they were getting steamrolled. The Lightning were just taking it to us. and it felt like it was only a matter of time before they broke through, and sure enough, Luke Hughes fires a pass to Jack. Jack tries to chip it in. It hits a linesman, stays right there, just falls. McDonough gets a nice backhanded pass up to Hagel, and Hagel just stabs it ahead to Kucherov, and Kucherov is in all alone on a breakaway with Markstrom, and he beats Superman Markstrom at 8:05, his 18th of the season from Hagel and McDonough, tying the game at 2. And now I was like, oh, my God. Here we go. Here's another one of these heart attack games. I feel the pulse is up, the heartbeat's up, and I'm like, oh, my God. Why do we have to sit through these? And some chances back and forth throughout the rest of the third. Nobody could break through, and we are headed to overtime. And now I feel like I could puke a little bit. A very nauseous feeling. Obviously, still coming out of the aftermath of that horrible Rangers overtime loss just a couple days ago, and I was like, please, boys, just please get it done. But wow, we go to the overtime session, and Jack Hughes draws a penalty with a little over 3 minutes left. He was breaking to the outside, turned on the Jets with speed, and Paul just reaches out with the stick and blatantly trips him. No way that wasn't going to get called in the overtime session. So Devils to the power play in the overtime, the 4-on-3, plenty of wide open ice. Wide open, beautiful ice for our amazing skilled forward group. And they're working it around, got a couple little shots. And then at the end of the first sequence there, Nico gets a backhander on net in tight that Vasilevsky gloves and holds on to. So now the Devils are looking at an offensive zone faceoff with 2:16 left in overtime and 1:01 left on the power play, and Sheldon Keefe calls timeout. Absolutely love the move. Absolutely love the move. As soon as Vasilevsky froze the puck, I was yelling at my TV, call timeout, call timeout. Because Jack had already played an earlier shift in overtime, and then he was out there for this. I always want to see my skill forwards rested as much as possible in that scenario. If you have the timeout, use it. A lot of people like to try to keep the defense gassed or force them to put out, a different group of guys to defend. I would always rather take my chances with my best guys well-rested versus your best guys well-rested. I don't know. It just seemed like one of those times that we needed to call the timeout. Keefe does it. And coming out of the timeout, what does he do? He decides that he's going for it. He's got moxie, baby. What does Sheldon Keefe do? 4 forwards come out. Nico, Jack, Jesper, and Stefan Noesen, the junkyard dog, coming out there to be that net front bully in his office down low where he's been doing damage all season long, leading the league with 5 net front goals coming into the contest. Nico wins a huge faceoff coming out of the timeout. Devils have sustained pressure. Again, Noesen in his office just wreaking havoc down low. He tips a couple pucks either on net or towards net. You feel the pressure cooker building on the Lightning. Devils staying on the puck, maintain possession. Jack tries to force a pass across the ice. It gets broken up by Tampa, but the puck's just sitting there too close to Stefan Noesen, and he just turns around and fires one top corner past Vasilevsky. What a beautiful shot off a broken play. Very easily could have been, a clear there. Forced pass by Jack. He was trying. Gets broken up, but they couldn't get the clear. It was so close, but it just sat there. Noesen turns around, whacks it upstairs. Noesen's 17th on the power play from Jack Hughes and Jesper Bratt, giving the Devils the 3-2 victory. And what a monster victory. Wow. Win of the season, obviously, being 1-4-1 in our last 6, with Jacob Markstrom completely stealing the last 3 points that we got. He stole the win in Seattle against the Kraken. He stole the loser point at the Garden against the Rangers. And I'm very glad they rewarded him with the start last night against the Lightning. I feared that we may see Jake Allen, and nothing against Jake Allen. I think he's done admirably in most of his starts this year. But when a guy like Jacob Markstrom is on a roll and playing the way he has been, you must go back to him. And I am so glad that the New Jersey Devils did. If I'm being honest, I don't know that Jake Allen wins that game in net. It was just one of those games. Markey had a lot of big saves. I forgot to mention the huge save on Point in the second period where he's all alone in front and Markey just fighting till the bitter end, in position on his way down, just staying with the puck, refusing to give up, and gets a piece of it with his arm. In real time, I thought he gloved it, but Point gets that shot off, and Markey gets it with his arm. What an absolute beautiful save. Wow. Highlight reel stuff. Ironically, it was only his third or fourth best save in the past week or so, with obviously all the amazing saves he had in the Kraken game. Complete highlight reel save by Markey, preserving the 2-1 lead at the time. And he had a couple of huge ones, but none bigger than that. The save on Point on the doorstep with his arm, absolutely beautiful stuff. And once again, Jacob Markstrom, one of the stories of the night, if not the main story, coming up big when called upon, giving your New Jersey Devils a chance to win again. And wow, what a game. We go to the game stats. Lightning, 25 shots on goal, Devils at 26. Lightning getting a slightly better percentage on the faceoffs, 54.4% to 45.6% for the Devils. Lightning going 0 for 3 on the power play. Love when the penalty kill shows up. They did their job tonight, and they did it perfectly. Devils 1 for 2 on the power play, obviously converting on that beautiful 4-on-3 overtime power play chance. Lightning 14 hits, New Jersey Devils 27 hits. Lightning with 13 block shots, the Devils with 19 block shots. Lightning 15 giveaways, Devils with 20 giveaways. Again, way too many giveaways. That's exactly one giveaway every 3 minutes. Gotta get that down. Gotta get it down. Lightning 5 takeaways, and the Devils with 1 takeaway. And overall, not the best game for the Devils. Far from their worst. Overall, it was a solid effort, I would say, despite the third period being a disaster. I mean, wow, they played really well, I thought, overall, for the first 40 minutes. That third period, we were just shell-shocked and in survival mode. And thanks to Jacob Markstrom, we were able to get to that overtime session. Jack draws a big penalty, and the Devils pull it out in thrilling fashion. What a shot by Noesen, the junkyard dog. And again, I just got to keep pumping this guy's tires. What an incredible signing by Tom Fitzgerald. I mean, my God, he brings him in thinking he's going to be, a nice, heavier, edgier, more violent bottom six guy that can contribute a little couple points here and there. And this guy just kicks the door down, having a career season, comes in, eventually steals a spot on power play 1, and is now playing top 6 minutes. I mean, wow. You love to see it. Stefan Noesen, a story of the season league-wide, in my opinion. Who is playing above their contract more so than Stefan Noesen? This guy is giving the best bang for the buck in the entire league. We cannot talk about this man enough. A complete monster. These are the men you need to go deep in the playoffs. Stefan Noesen, just a bull down front, doing a little bit of everything, and I love this guy. I absolutely love this guy. How could you not? How could you not? And he's been a monster for the Devils so far this season. Who would have thought coming into the season that through 45 games played, Jack Hughes and Stefan Noesen would be tied for goals? Who would have thought that? The first question you would probably ask is, was Jack injured or something? No. With the same amount of games played through 45 games, Noesen and Jack tied for second on the team with 17 goals, and wow. You can't talk enough about him. You obviously can't talk enough about Markstrom. I severely hope that the New Jersey Devils once again reward Jacob Markstrom and this amazing start that he had and bring him right back out. Bring him right back out for the Tuesday night matchup at the Rock against the Panthers. Now, again, I am old school. I like to ride hot goalies, especially your number one guy when you have a guy like Markstrom. These guys are super competitive. He wants to win. You see how fired up Markey gets. The guy hates losing, loves to win, loves playing, and he wants to play every game. He wants to play every game. The great Marty Brodeur said as much in his latest interview with Cam and Strick. Check it out. Great podcast. I love Cam and Strick. Shout out to Cam Jansen, former New Jersey Devil. Absolutely loved the dude when he played. He's a great hockey personality. His podcast is one of my favorites in all of sports. And I'll put the link in the description, but check it out. Marty goes on Cam and Strick. I'm not going to give too many spoilers here. But amongst the many things Marty discusses, he talks about Jacob Markstrom and how he's a competitor and how he wants to play every game. But definitely check out that interview. And I realize with the sports science and everything in the tandem goalie era we live in now, goalies are never going to play nearly as much as the great Martin Brodeur and a lot of his peers did in the league at the time. The Patrick Waz, Eddie Belfours, Dominic Hasek's, these guys were legends. They commanded the net, and they played a lot of games. That era is dead and gone now. I don't necessarily agree with it wholeheartedly, but I am hoping that they give Markey the net Tuesday night against the Panthers at the Rock. And then Thursday night, just to give you a quick little outlook on the next 4 games, We have Tuesday night at home against the Panthers, Thursday at Toronto, which is going to be a media circus. The Sheldon Keefe return to Toronto, I'm sure he's probably both looking forward to it and not looking forward to it because of all the hoopla and the nonsense and the 17,000 microphones that are going to be shoved in his face. But they got to get a win for him. The Devils are 0-2 against his former club, and both games were at the Rock. Haven't been able to get one for General Keefe against his old club, and they'll be returning to Toronto on Thursday, looking for that first one against the Leafs in Keefe's return. That's Thursday the 16th, and then the Devils return for back-to-back home matinee games at the Rock next weekend. Saturday the 18th against the Flyers at 12:30, and Sunday at 1 o'clock against the Senators. So they have 4 games for your boy Ace. If I was in charge of everything, I personally, this is what I would do. I play Markey Tuesday night against the Panthers at home. I play Markey Thursday at Toronto. I play Jake Allen Saturday at home against the Flyers. And I go back to Markey Sunday at home against the Sens. So I go Markey, Allen, Markey. Now, you know Allen is going to get, obviously at a minimum, one of the back-to-backs, which is the 18th and 19th against Flyers and Sens. If he plays one of the next 2 games, that essentially means he's going to play 2 of the next 4. Now, again, nothing against Allen. With the way Markstrom has been running as of late, you must capitalize. We had that skid. We need to start banking some points again. A lot of teams are going to be hungry through the rest of the season, trying to improve their position for the playoffs or claw into the playoffs. January is an absolute gauntlet, in my opinion, here with playing some of the top teams. Obviously, just playing the Lightning, and then we have Panthers, Leafs, and then a lot of teams scraping to try to either stay in a wild card or just get into one. So it's just an Eastern Conference extravaganza here throughout the rest of January. No points are going to come easy. We got to get as many as we can in the bank before the 4 nations break, and I want to see Markey play 3 of the next 4. I hope that's the case. We will see how it goes, but if it was up to me, I'm playing him at home against Florida and in Toronto in the Keefe return, counting on Markey to lock it down and get a big win. And then I go Jake Allen Saturday against the Flyers and back to Markey Sunday against the Sens. We will see how all of that shakes out. Will be interesting to see, but let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments. Let me know what you thought about anything I said in this video in the comments, but New Jersey Devils hockey, guys. Oh, God, that just was such a great win. To beat a team, like the Lightning, who are very good, have been good for a while. They have an elite goaltender, a lot of top-flight talent, Kucherov, Hedman, Point. They're just stacked. And the New Jersey Devils seem to elevate their game against these better teams. We've talked a lot about it in the post-game lives. Shout out to all of you that came out for that. If you're not familiar, I do a post-game show right after the MSG post-game show goes off the air, the post-game live. And we either commiserate after losses or we celebrate after wins. Last night was a celebration for a victory, and shout out to all of you that came out. But we've been talking about how the Devils seem to play down to their competition often, and then they play up against the better teams. It is what it is. Hopefully they, find a way to bring their A game against the quote-unquote lesser teams of the league. They've struggled with San Jose, obviously, this year, going 0-2, and some other of the, bottom teams that we've lost to, while we play pretty damn good against the Panthers, Canes, Capitals of the world. The only real top-level team, I would say, that we struggled with thus far in this season was the Leafs. And what an interesting Eastern Conference Final matchup that would be. Wow. Imagine a Devils-Leafs Eastern Conference Final. All the star-studded lineups, the whole Sheldon Keefe plot line. I mean, wow, that would be one for the ages. But let me know what you thought about anything. Throw it out there in the comments. Wow, but what a night, what a time to be a Devils fan, and hopefully they could just ride the momentum and just keep it going. If you're newer to the channel, thank you for watching. Poke around the channel, check out some of the videos that came out over the past couple weeks. There's some interesting stuff on there. For those of you that are older fans or younger fans looking to learn a little bit, your boy Ace had the opportunity to sit down and talk with Jamie Langenbrunner, former Devils legend, a monster contributor to the 2003 Stanley Cup run. So check that out. That just came out a couple days ago. I'll put the link in the description for that as well. My conversation with Jamie Langenbrunner. That was a thrill for me. And guys, lots of stuff in the works as always trying to bring something of value to you guys. But it's been fun. It's been a great season thus far. Hopefully the Devils continue to improve and sharpen the skills on the way to the playoffs. I do believe in this team. I will say once again, I do believe they make the Eastern Conference Finals or more. I am hoping that comes to fruition. I am not wavering. That was my offseason prediction. I'm sticking with it. And again, why not us? Why not us? We're as good as anybody. We are as good as anybody, but throw it all out there in the comments. I'll be back soon. Thank you all for watching. I love you all. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go.